Night fell hard on the mountain village of Yanhua. The air still smelled of rice straw and wood smoke when the torches appeared on the ridge. Hannah was the first to hear the horses. She was 22, thin from the last hard winter, hair still damp from washing the evening dishes. Her younger brother Minjun was stacking firewood by the door. Their mother was already inside, calling that the barley soup was ready. The raid was fast and ugly. Men in dark armor swept through the narrow lanes, dragging people out by the hair, setting roofs alight. Hannah's father tried to fight with a farming sickle and was cut down in the dirt. Her mother threw herself over Minjun and was struck hard enough that she did not rise again. Hannah was shoved against a wall, a blade under her chin. By dawn, the village was smoke and silent. The young men roped together and marched north. Minjun was among them, wrists raw, eyes wide with shock. That same morning she cut her hair with the kitchen knife, short and uneven like a boy's. She bound her chest with strips torn from her mother's old handbook until breathing hurt. She rubbed ash and dirt into her face and under her nails. She took her father's worn jacket, packed a small cloth with dried radish and a little coin, and walked after the slave column until her feet bled. 3 days later, she reached the river camp where the traders sorted the new stock. She sold herself cheap. The trader did not look twice at the quiet, hollow-cheeked youth who gave his name as Han and said he had no family left. Lord Kang's labor camp sat in a wide valley under grey cliffs, stone quarries on one side, timber slopes on the other, high wooden walls, watchtowers, and the constant crack of Captain Doe's voice. New arrivals were stripped, washed with cold water, and given rough hemp clothes. Hannah kept her eyes down, shoulders hunched, voice low. No one questioned the quiet boy who never smiled. She was assigned to the lower quarry crew. On the first full day, she already mapped the gates, the guard changes, the locked northern barracks. Somewhere inside those barracks was Minjun. She had not seen him yet. Late afternoon, the Lord's procession arrived without warning. Seyon rode in an open litter under a light canopy, fanning herself with a silk fan even though the air was cool. She was soft-cheeked, round-shouldered, dressed in pale pink that made her look younger than her 20 years. Her personal maid, Unji, walked beside the litter, face carefully blank. Captain Doe bowed low. Lord Kang looked over the new slaves with the mild interest of a man inspecting livestock. Seoyeon's gaze drifted across the line of dirty men and stopped. She saw the quiet ones standing slightly apart, head bowed, hands still. Something in the line of the jaw, the way the shoulders held tension even in submission, recognition hit her like cold water. She remembered a spring festival years ago. Paper Flowers, a shy village girl who had pressed one into her hand and ran before the guards could scold her. That same face, now under ash and short hair. Seoyeon did not look away. She leaned toward her father and said, loud enough for the nearest overseers to hear, "That one, the quiet one near the end, he looks cleaner than the rest. I want him as my attendant while we're here." Lord Kang waved a hand, already bored. "As you like." Captain Doe's mouth tightened, but he nodded. Hannah was pulled from the line and pushed forward. She kept her head down, heart slamming so hard she was sure everyone could hear it. Seon studied her for a long moment, eyes bright with something that was not quite kindness. "Name?" Han Hugand, voice deliberately rough. Seon smiled, small and private. "Han, you will carry my things, taste my food, and stay where I can see you. Do you understand?" "Yes, young lady." That night, the Lord's party stayed in the camp's guest pavilion. Hannah was ordered to wait outside the door with a lantern. The other slaves watched her with dull envy and quiet suspicion. Jinwoo, a tall slave with a scar across one eyebrow, muttered as he passed, "Special treatment already, don't get used to it." Near midnight, Soyeon dismissed Unji and stepped out alone. She walked past Hannah without speaking, into the small side garden where the lantern light did not fully reach. After a moment, she turned and waited. Hannah had no choice, she followed. Soyeon stopped under a pine tree, turned, and looked straight at her. The playful expression was gone. I think we've met before." Hannah's blood turned to ice. She opened her mouth, closed it. Seon stepped closer, close enough that the silk of her sleeve brushed Hannah's rough jacket. "Don't look so frightened. If I wanted you exposed, I would have done it in front of my father. I didn't. That should tell you something." She tilted her head, studying Hannah's face in the dim light. You cut your hair yourself, the ends are uneven, and you bind too tightly, your breathing is wrong. Fix it before someone else notices. Hannah finally found her voice, barely above a whisper. Why? Seon smiled again, but it was slower this time, almost soft. She reached up as if to adjust Hannah's collar, fingers lingering a second too long against the side of her neck. Then she stepped back. Go back to the door. Tomorrow you will walk behind my litter. If anyone asks why I chose you, say I dislike dirty hands near my food. That is all they need to know. She turned and walked inside without waiting for an answer. Hannah stood alone under the pine for a long time, the night air cold on her skin. Somewhere beyond the walls, Minjun was sleeping on cold stone. Somewhere closer, a spoiled lord's daughter had just decided that Hannah's secret belonged to her. In the dark, Captain Doe watched the garden from the upper walkway, arms folded, expression unreadable. And far down the valley, the last of the slave traders' torches disappeared around the bend, leaving the camp sealed for the night.